Alright, so I have literally just recorded a video before this, but I had like a thought whilst recording the other video of a story I want to tell you lot. This channel is basically just turning into story time, but you lot got to get to know the Adam Law because, yeah, some crazy things have happened, but make sure to subscribe if you're not already. I lagged. I don't know why I didn't just keep it up, but yeah, also before I start this video, do you lot prefer it when I close my curtains and like I've just got my light here? Or do you prefer it when the curtains are open? Because to me, the lighting is a bit too inconsistent when I open my curtains. Like sometimes you just get like this glare and like I'm looking in the camera and it just makes me, it doesn't make me look weird, but I don't know, it just fucks it up a bit. But also I feel like a bit of a goblin when it's like midday outside and I've just closed my curtains. But yeah, just like let me know, or I just continue to mix it up. It really depends. But basically, when I this is just the whole situation's a bit fucked. Like it just everything changed so quickly. So when I was doing my side hustles, there were like there's been 2 or 3 times when I was gonna quit my job because people were telling me like, oh yeah, like if you want to make it, like, you know, you gotta quit your job, you gotta put everything into it. Because I was, like I've said, I was doing a 9 to 5, but most of the people that were doing it, they were just, I was like working part time, or I don't know how, but they were just doing the side hustle stuff. I don't know, maybe their parents were like didn't really give a fuck about them not working, but for me that was never would have happened. I wouldn't have wanted that to happen either. So I was putting in like 4 hours because I was told 4 hours was enough, but then suddenly it wasn't enough. I mean, I felt it a bit. Like I was like, shit, like this is actually at the start when you're learning is a piece of piss, but if you're really trying to scale, shit, the batteries on my camera's going flat. Yeah, like when you're like up and you want to get to a point where you do it full time, it gets a bit more difficult. But saying that, it depends on the client, really. So anyway, would it have been last year? Nah, fuck. Like my memory of it all, like, is a bit fucked. Was it last year? I don't know. Maybe it was last year. Yeah, it must have been last year. It must have been like February, March last year. I was gonna quit. Nah, that doesn't seem right. Because in March I went skiing. Now maybe it was. Maybe I did just go through a fucked period where everything just happened so quick. I don't know. It must have been because it couldn't have been 2024. Because I went to Thailand then. Yeah, so it would have been last year. So February last year? Or January. Maybe it was January. But like January, February last year, I finally got the green light, really. The shackles were let off Adam. And I was able to leave my job because my dad said, fuck it, like, if you want to do it that bad, I don't want to hold you back anymore. You can leave. Mate, as soon as he said that, I was like a ball in a china shop. I was just reckless. I was reckless. Like, fuck it, yeah. Like, ran upstairs, started writing out my notice letter. My dad was like, well, damn, like, I thought you would have thought about it a bit more than that. But I've been doing this for like 2 years by this point. Yeah, like two and a bit years, 2 years. And I'd always wanted to leave my job. So I was writing out my notice letter. Then I went to go save it as a draft, but I accidentally clicked send. Bearing in mind, I wasn't making that much money by this point. It was very, very inconsistent, but my logic was, oh well, if I can put more time into it, I can get like another client, I can put more time into this one, and I'll make more money. Which there is some truth there. But yeah, I was waiting on some money because I was due to make like £700 this month. And it was that maybe 2 weeks into it. But I also had a lot of savings, so there was some logic amongst the chaos. So then I accidentally clicked send. I was like, fuck, like shit. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just delete it, then rewrite it. So I done that. I didn't know that you actually had to go on some other website and delete it like properly. I thought like I didn't know it just deleted that on your end. But I was like, fuck it, like alright, I got it saved in my draft anyway, it don't really matter. But then I remember waking up the next morning, I was like, fuck, like this is for real now. Like I'm actually gonna leave my job. I had to leave my house like 30 minutes earlier than what I usually do, just to sit in my work car park. Like I knew no one was gonna be there. I couldn't start work any earlier than 7 o'clock. But my head was just fucked. I was there like this has got to work. Like I've got to make this work now because I'm just gonna look like an absolute dickhead if I've done all this talk for months and years. So get to work, head's fucked, thoughts are just all over the place. And then guy comes in, unlocks for me. We just get working. And I'm just like shit. Then I get a message from one of the guys that I'm working with on this offer. And he's like, hey mate, we're not gonna be like doing any more coaching for you because the client we're working for hasn't paid us for the last 3 months that we've been working with him. I was like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna like leave my job today and he's not paid you. He's paid me, but I'm also waiting on payments that I haven't received yet. And to this day I haven't got the money. Don't care, but just gonna say that. Yeah. And I was like, well fuck that, like in this period of my life I was a fool, but I wasn't that much of a fool. And obviously there was already doubt in my mind, like, fuck, like I've actually got to do this because I'd never handed in my notice before. That was the thing I was scared about most. I was like, well, fuck that, like, I'm not going to leave. And then they started giving me this one guy started giving me some nonsense TED talk, like, oh, this what happens when you doubt yourself, bro. Like, I'm like, mate, like, my parents are on me. That every single time, I'm booking a call or anything is like, oh, did you get paid? Oh, did you get paid? How much you been paid? So they're already on me, like, they kind of want it to fucking fuck up so then they can just forget about it and I focus on my job and that's it. That's just me being honest. And I was like, nah, like, man, fucking hell, like, come on, like, I've actually got expenses to pay for. Got my rent, car, gym membership. I don't just want to be a bum just sat at home. Like, I want to make money. I've got holidays and that to pay for. So I'd made a decision. I'm not going to leave. Fuck, he's on 5%. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not leaving. I can't. And then I come into work and my manager's walking and he just hiked Ben Nevis or some shit. And he sort of comes out and he goes, oh, what the fuck, ads? I was like, what? Like, the hell? Like, why did he said that? I thought he was going to tell me some shit, like, about Ben Nevis. I'm like, what? Like, he said, like, oh, what's going on? I was like, oh, not a lot. He goes, nah, what's going on? I was like, what do you mean what's going on? He goes, oh, come with me. I'd had no clue that the fucking email still sent to him. And it's like, he said I work at 8 o'clock. It's like 8:02. And he's already managed to see it. Or maybe he's seen it the night before. I don't know. He goes, oh, you've handed in your notice. My genuine reaction, like, it was just a pure Adam reaction. I was like, what the fuck? No, you seen that? He goes, of course I did. You sent it last night. And then I just had to reel off the whole entire situation to him. I'd been doing this for like 2 years. And obviously, I don't know if you guys know what it's like working a 9 to 5. Shit spreads like a fire. Then everybody just knew that I'd been hustling my way to the top for the past 2 years. Obviously a million questions like, what you handing? You notice you handed it? I was like, mate, it was an accident. It was an accident. Obviously, just get the shit ripped out of you for it, which is funny. It's a funny story to tell. And yeah, then forever I just had people like asking me like, oh, how much money you made? How much? Oh yeah, what you doing? And I told them I just went to Thailand with some friends from school. So then that secret ended up coming out. No, it actually wasn't. Yeah, it was fucking weird. And then, literally, if my memory's right, that was in February. And then, yeah, that was in February. Then, March, I shit you not, like, probably like 3 weeks later, I just stopped the whole thing. That was another story. Like, the people in the scene, they were just fucking weird. That they wanted to play off that, like, Andrew Tate and, like, trying to give you some nonsense TED talk. Just pissed me off. I was like, you lot are a bunch of pricks. Fuck off. Had enough of that. Ended up getting a couple arguments with people. Like, I work in the motor trade, so everything I say is quite boiled down, but I got that blue collar, like, banter and, like, just the sayings you only get in the blue collar industry that just make people look like complete twats, but you wouldn't know it, and it's just hilarious. So, yeah, it's weird, like, it's 3 weeks, I just completely stopped the whole thing when 3 weeks before I was going to leave and do it full time. And then, yes, I stopped that, and then probably, like, fucking, like, April 1st, so that was in March that I stopped, then April 1st I started a new job. And that's what makes me question if my timings are right. I don't know, it must have been because I started the job April last year. And I stopped. Yeah, because when I started my new job, it was like a complete. They are right, the timings are right. Because I remember just thinking, like, this is crazy. Like, I've got a new job. I'm not doing appointment setting or nothing like that anymore. I'm just recording content. It was like a complete fresh new start of my life. And I remember just feeling so weird, like, yeah, it was weird. Like, I just remember feeling like a complete new human being because I was like a robot before. Just wake up at 4:30, go to the gym, go to work, come home, just bust my ass all the time. Like, I wasn't doing anything with my life other than working. And yeah, that was another story. The next video will probably be, going back to the advice stuff, but I'm gonna have to stop. My camera's on 2%. It's 1 o'clock. I'm starving hungry. But that is some more Adam Law. Don't forget to subscribe. And join me on a crazy journey because no doubt more crazy shit's gonna happen. Fingers crossed it's good stuff this time. And yeah, I've just thought of another video that I want to record. But we'll save it. I'll write it in my notes.